Louisiana's rich history is being recognized with several new additions to the National Register of Historic Places.
The designation acknowledges buildings and communities for their cultural and architectural significance and ensures they're preserved for future generations. Karen LeBlanc joins us now with more on the newly registered sites.
Charlie Cole is a retired real estate developer with a passion for historic preservation. His latest project is Willow Springs, a home built in 1910 in Zachary along Highway 61. Charlie is working with the Louisiana Office of Cultural Development's Division of Historic Preservation to list the property on the National Register of Historic Places.
That's a good way to preserve things. For instance, the widening of the road out here, if this was on the National Register, there'd be restrictions from the state to encroach on a historic property. So I think that's important. Preservation and the economic benefit.
The National Register of Historic Places was established by Congress in 1966 as the federal register for all historic places. That's buildings, districts, sites, objects, and structures. In Louisiana, specifically, it's administered by our office within the Division of Historic Preservation, which is under the Lieutenant Governor's oversight.
Bailey Hall is the state coordinator helping Charlie navigate the logistics of his application. Her team provides technical assistance, including the required research and documentation for listing on the National Register of Historic Places.
The program offers honorary designation only. We do not restrict the use of private property owners to do what they want with their properties, but it is a tool for preservation planning and cultural identity, preserving that heritage and that legacy of these resources.
Charlie has restored several historic properties, including Santa Maria Plantation in Baton Rouge, 62 Esplanade in the New Orleans French Quarter, and Como Plantation, which functions as a religious retreat near St. Francisville.
In the case of Como, it was a very big and large undertaking, and funds are always a factor, and the tax credits helped tremendously in that case, both federal and state tax credits. In fact, this year we've used them all. Actually, we sold some of the last tax credits, so you're allowed to sell.
We have different grant funding opportunities and economic incentives. So we have the tax credit program at the state and federal level. We also have historic preservation fund grants, as well as just technical assistance from our office, which we use to help property owners. But it also strives with that heritage tourism and economic revitalizations within small towns.
Louisiana's recent listings on the National Register of Historic Places form an eclectic mix, including a rural farmstead in St. Martin Parish and the Keynes apartment building in Baton Rouge for its Art Deco style and status as a hub for intellectual thought in the 1930s. In Morgan City, Mr. Charlie, the offshore oil rig, received a National Historic Landmark designation. Historic districts in Rayville, Rain, and Oak Grove are all up for nomination.
So the misconception is the National Register is a regulatory program, and it is not. But it is a tool that opens the door to those economic incentives that do place restrictions on the property. Highlighting the heritage and cultural significance of the properties that we have is important, and we don't want to lose sight of that in the economic and development pressures.
To qualify for nomination to the National Register, the property, place, or structure must be at least 50 years old and must remain under the same ownership for at least 5 years. Eligible properties can be income-producing investments, including short-term rentals. Charlie is considering turning Willow Springs into a bed and breakfast after he finishes restoration work.
I enjoy restoration work. I think I enjoy shopping and looking for the exact molding and finding the right pieces, finding the right craftsman to do the work. That's a big trick nowadays, finding the right craftsman.
Listed places receive a plaque that forms another page in Louisiana's architectural and cultural narrative.